Okay everyone, this is going to be my Glitchless tutorial. The thing with Glitchless is that it's a lot of really easy stuff and then a couple of hard tricks kind of interspersed between. So I'm not going to go through the whole game. That would be stupid and pointless, and it would be a long video to watch, probably like 2 hours of just me talking about random easy stuff. You don't want that. Instead, what I've done is I'm just going to go through, show you all the different hard things, and you can look at the timestamps and find the tutorials for all that stuff in one easy video. Just going to let you know, this tutorial is going to assume you know all the basics of movement. I'm going to link you the movement tutorial down below. This tutorial assumes you have a general background of Mirror's Edge speedrunning. If you have any questions, please leave a comment. I'm actually pretty active at responding to them, so I will do my best. Just a couple ways to get through this section. The way I do it is fast and also a little bit difficult, so I'll show you that first. I wall boost off this, then I do like a nice wall boost off this. I jump up here, I jump here, I can adjust my angle in midair without losing speed, so I do that. I jump, and then try to wall boost off the edge of the wall there, and that gets me across the gap pretty easily. The key to this trick is making sure you wall boost on the edge of the wall, and if you adjust your angle, do it in midair so that way you don't lose speed. If that's too hard for you, you can do something like this. Or basically what you want to do here is you want to jump. You want to jump kind of far into the wall so you can wall run for a little bit longer. Then once you get to this white part, just wall boost off, and you'll make it across every time, and that's kind of the safe way. But I do it the faster way. So you might be wondering about the setup for this jump right here. Basically what I'm going to do is you're going to wall boost off this stupid thing. You're going to land like here-ish. I run, turn my camera just a little bit to get it straight. Once you have it straight, you jump. The moment you like hit this ledge, once you hit this ledge you jump, and then you'll have enough speed and height to make it onto this thing without coiling. I side trick boost off of it and continue on my way. So once you know that setup, it's pretty easy. Hard to miss. So I'm going to show you the reverse angle kick glitch setup I have. So I do a wall boost here and a wall boost here. Now there's a window on the left side, the first window on that wall. Once that window goes off screen, I do a side jump. When I get on the red thing, I jump, and then I kick first frame, and that'll land you pretty consistently on this thing. If you don't like that strat, the strat I used to use looks like this. And that also avoids getting a hard landing animation on this pad. The problem with doing that wall run into kick, however, is sometimes it skips an essential checkpoint. The checkpoint I'm talking about is the checkpoint that spawns this door right here. I've also found, however, that doing the reverse angle kick glitch tends to hit the checkpoint more than doing this wall run kick. So because I have the reverse angle kick glitch consistent, it's safer and it's faster, I tend to do that rather than the wall run kick, even though it's really tempting to do that since it's not that much slower. If you find that the wall run kick is never spawning the checkpoint for you, and you think the reverse angle kick glitch is too difficult, you can always just do casual strats, which is just jumping and rolling on this. That's a little bit faster than having to do the landing pad animation. And then from there, just continue like normal. Okay, 1E. There are so many different strats in this area. I'm going to go through them from fastest to slowest. Not necessarily from hardest to easiest, but I'll do it from the fastest to the slowest. So, sliding wall climbs in general. BluMage has a great video on them, so I'm going to ask you to watch that first. Okay, now I'm assuming after that 5-second pause that you've watched the video, so I'm going to give you the tips I can give you as to why it might not be working. I'm basically going to show you every single way the stupid strat can fail, so you can know what you're doing wrong. If you're getting a wall run on this wall, like that just means you're too close to the wall when you jump. If you're too close to the wall when you jump, you won't be able to turn your camera in and get the wall climb, so you should probably move yourself a little bit more left when you jump next time. Conversely, if you're too far from the wall, you'll just do that. That seems pretty obvious, but just in case you didn't figure it out. If this happens, it could also mean that you're just jumping too late, like you're jumping here and you're not going to get the wall climb, obviously, if you're not horizontal to the wall. So jump a little bit earlier if that happens. If you're dropping your wall climb like this, that just means you're also jumping too late. That is because what happens with this wall, as BluMage explained in his video, is like it kind of bops you up to the top. But if you start your wall climb too far to the left, you won't have any wall to climb up to, any like ledge to climb up to, I mean. And if you don't have a ledge to climb up to, then you won't get the extended wall climb, and you won't be able to make it across the gap. So if that's happening, where you just kind of drop your wall climb in the middle, it's probably because you're jumping too late. If this is happening, where you're getting the extended wall climb, and then not being able to like jump, it probably just means you're side jumping too late, and you need to do it a little bit earlier. Conversely, if you're managing to get the side jump, but not making it across, it's probably because you're side jumping too early. That animation is a little bit longer than you think, so take advantage of that. If this is happening to you, you're like making it not across the gap, it might be because, look how far to the left I am from where I started. That's where I started, this is where I ended up. That's because I came in at an angle. If you come in at an angle like this, you maintain that horizontal momentum and like you end up just kind of like going diagonal across the gap. And going diagonal across the gap is much more distance than going straight across the gap. If that's happening and you're not making it across the gap, and you also notice that you're like way far to the right, that's probably just because you're coming in at too much of an angle. Instead of coming in at like this angle, come in at like this angle. You can come in at a bit of an angle and still make it across, like so. That was a little bit iffy. You can see I'm at an angle. I started here, I ended here, but I still made it across. So don't be afraid to come in at a bit of an angle, but if you're ending up like here, obviously you're coming in at too much of an angle. Fun fact is you can actually get this stupid thing to go left too. As you can see, I ended up a little bit to the left of where I started. And that's just by like whipping your camera left, jumping, and then whipping it back really quickly. Fun fact for you. If this is happening to you, where I didn't get the extended wall climb, that's because you're not turning your camera fast enough after your jump. So just make sure you're turning your camera quickly so you can get the extended wall climb, because if you don't turn it quickly, if you just kind of move it slowly, this will happen, and you definitely won't make it across. One last point I'd like to re-emphasize is that you really have to be running, jump, and then turn your camera. You cannot be turning your camera before you jump or bad things will happen. For example, one of the bad things that can happen is that you go super far right. I still managed to make that because I got a really good side jump and a really good wall climb, but however, you may notice I went way far right. You may also get something like this if you turn your camera before you jump. Obviously, that will not get you across the gap. Additionally, you might get something like this, where you just completely drop your wall climb, and that's pretty gross too. The point I'm trying to make here, in case you couldn't tell, is to jump and then turn your camera, because that is so much better. If you can't get the sliding wall climb, do not worry too much about it. It's a lot of fun to do, but it's not worth losing all your runs to. Just go for some of the other tricks, even go the casual way. Only go for this stupid sliding wall climb if you're going for a really, really good run. On that note, I will show you the other strats. The next fastest strat you can do is right here. You can springboard off this, and then by clicking W at the right time, get a speed vault. After you get the speed vault, look over here to the left of this orange wall, like right about here-ish. From there, you side jump boost. From your side jump boost, you want to be looking a little bit to the left of this wall right here. So like here-ish. Now, while looking here, you run forward. See that pole on the right side of my screen? When that pole goes off screen, I jump. From that jump, I land on this railing. I scroll to jump off that railing, and then I do a wall boost on the very edge of this wall. All together, it looks like this. This trick is really difficult and requires really precise camera control, so don't be discouraged if it takes you a couple tries to figure out. From the same area, there's another trick you can do that some people think is easier, but I do not. Basically, the trick requires you to get a wall boost off of this wall, then do another wall run on this wall, and wall boost off that wall to get all the way over here with insane speed. I'm not very good at it, but I'll show you what it looks like in case you want to try it. So that's what it looks like. Some people think that's easier, and in fact, that's the strat that's in the current world record, but I find both the sliding wall climb and the other trick I just showed you to be easier than that double wall boost. Speaking of this other trick, we're back to it again. It's a little bit faster to do this trick with reaction time than it is to go all the way up and around the casual way. So if you have to use reaction time, go ahead. It's not worth losing a ton of runs to this trick. And I think it's a lot easier to do with reaction time. And last but certainly not least, if you have to do casual strats, you know, it happens. I get it. It's tough. To make casual strats a little bit faster, you can do like this. And then just jump up here. Instead of climbing the ladder all the way up. So in this little area, we used to have a strat where you'd get a hidden springboard on this vent. And the hidden springboard is really inconsistent and really difficult to do. I got it there first try, but it required a lot of setup, and even sometimes with the right setup, you wouldn't get it. So instead, we came up with a new strat. The new strat requires you to jam yourself into this corner on top of this little ledge right here. From this little ledge, you're going to wall run on this wall, and then you're going to wall climb on this left pipe. Immediately after you start wall climbing, you're going to turn and then delay the jump. Wall climbing on this pole and delaying the jump from the Q-turn ensures you won't bonk on these vents up here. Then what I like to do from here is I like to coil and hold W and right through the entire thing. This ensures that I'll land on this vent, and landing on this vent just totally ensures I won't die from fall damage. Although you can sometimes land on this section and survive the fall damage, it's just not worth the risk. I'd also like to point out that if you want to be safe, you can just go for the ledge grab by not coiling. And that will also ensure that you don't die from fall damage ever. So a little bit of information on this death abuse up here. Basically, there's a big checkpoint on this roof. That checkpoint is a rectangular box. This is like the edge of the box. It goes all the way down here, it goes around this rounded corner, and then over here. This entire checkpoint will spawn you right here, no matter where on the checkpoint you touch. So, what I do is once I land here, I just kind of side jump boost past this corner. And because the rectangular box goes past the actual roof there, because it's a rounded corner, you spawn right here. So I'm going to show you a setup for a new strat we just found. So you come over here, and you go in between this pole and this pole, about 3/4 in between it. So stand about here. It's not precise. From here, you turn your camera so you're looking a little bit to the right of this pole. So you need to look about here. Now what you're going to do is you're going to run, you're going to jump about here, again, not super precise, and then right after you jump, turn your camera so you're looking perpendicular to the wall. Turning your camera back perpendicular is what's going to let you get the sliding wall climb, and then with a side jump from that, you can just grab this little ledge and be up here. From here, you just kind of have to jump up here, and then you'll be back on the normal route. If you think that's a bit difficult, that's okay. You can go the normal way still. For those who don't know the normal way, it's over here. Once you get to this section, you pretty much just need to coil jump and then snake your way around there. Now that you're up here, you just go back to the ramp you just saw. You're just coming at it from a different angle. And then, again, you're back up here. It's a little bit slower, but it's a bit more consistent, I think. So I'm going to explain this strat real quick, just because it can be kind of tricky. So this door right here, and all doors really, just like a neutral kick can cancel fall damage and prevent you from getting a hard fall, door kicking can also do that, even attempted door kicking. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to be at full speed, run off of this, jump, land on this corner, fall off of this corner, just like run off of it, get in front of the door, and then kick just before you hit the door. If you kick too early, you won't get the damage cancel. This is what it'll look like. And if you're lucky, you'll even kick open the door. Here's what it'll look like if you don't manage to kick open the door. And then you can just kind of continue. So this strat can be kind of finicky. Basically, you're running at full speed. You jump, you turn. You can like kind of run and turn into the corner, but you want to wall climb on this side of the pole. Then you Q-turn, delay jump, coil, land on this thing. From there, you do a delayed W wall climb. So like, you know that thing where you jump and then hit W to the wall climb. You hit Q at the top of that wall climb, delay the jump, and then you're set. So that's what it looks like. Then once you're up here, it gets pretty easy. Basically, you just wall climb on this for like half a second and then Q-turn. So don't do like an immediately jump and then Q, but like wall climb up for half a second, Q-turn, delay the jump again, and then just whip your camera left. You'll get a fast vault there, and then you can just kick down here and continue. So I do have a bit of a setup for this trick. So like, I don't really worry too much about where I am horizontally, but I'm basically like in line with this plank. I do worry about where I'm looking. I always try to look like right here. If you look at this blue wall, I'm kind of in the middle, a little bit to the left of this part, just like here-ish. I'm always about this far away. I jump here, turn my camera in a little bit, wall run on this part, Q-turn coil, hold right, and then side jump boost off of this wire. That didn't work because I hit Q too early, but let me try again. Wow, I'm bad. Let me try it one more time. And that's what it looks like. So if you're flopping, that just means you're hitting Q too early. But like, it's a pretty consistent setup actually. It just gives you a lot of leniency. See? Look at that. I told you it's consistent. That's the way you do it. If this is too hard for you, the next fast thing you can do is like do that and then just wall boost over. This ceiling's not real, so don't worry about bopping on it. You can kind of like clip into it for some reason. And it won't like, see? It's fine. And you can just go this way. And that's a little bit slower, but safer. So 5A. Jump here. You want to land like here-ish. See that door? on the left. You just kind of want to land next to it. This checkpoint's pretty big, but it'll diffuse you to the bottom. Then, you've probably seen this in runs. You go this way. Go this way. Now you have to do, on this stupid wall right here, you have to do a wall climb turn jump. I don't know why. Do not try to wall climb sidestep over this fence. You have to do a wall climb turn jump. Do a wall climb turn jump, hold left, you get over the fence, and continue on your way. For some reason, that one specific animation will make it so the guards can't hit you with their guns. I timed it out. It's a little bit faster to do what I just did, rather than to wall boost on the walls on your right. And that's how you get through 5A glitchless. Now you're kind of where you are in any percent, so you should know the route from here. Some people do a trick in any percent, where they like jump, kick off this wall, slide, and then do this. That's what I do in any percent at least. You can still sort of do that in glitchless, although it is cheating, quote unquote. It's a glitch to like slide off of the end of this kick animation. It is not a glitch to turn your camera around, pull W, and you'll still lose all your momentum. Then from there, you can go like this and like this. So it's a little bit of an exploit in glitchless. It doesn't make you do anything off of the kick animation. You're just exploiting a trick that isn't a glitch in glitchless, because that's what we do in Mirror's Edge. Then you can, if you have to coil jump, by the way, to land on this barbed wire. Coil jump onto the barbed wire, go here, and then you should get up here. And boom, go on your way. So one of the old any percent strats that is now glitchless exclusive is tree strats. So once you walk in here, you're going to go over to this tree right over here. It's like the first tree as you walk in. You're going to walk up onto this little ledge the tree has and do a wall climb turn jump, making sure to turn at the very top of the wall climb in order to get enough height to get up there. Also, you'll have to coil, but you probably saw that. Once you're up on this ledge, you're going to do a wall run and then immediately cancel the wall run by hitting shift. That's going to give you a little bit of speed. That little bit of speed will allow you to do then a wall boost. That wall boost will land you right about here. So now that you've done a wall boost, you're going to have a lot of forward momentum. With that forward momentum, you're just going to jump and turn your camera right. If you do it correctly, you're going to get a wall run every time on this wall, just by turning your camera right. Now that you have a wall run on this wall, you just need to make sure that you turn your camera to wall climb on this section of this wall. If you try to wall climb on this diagonal part, it just won't work, you'll fall down. So make sure to kind of whip your camera right and wall climb up this part. Once you're wall climbing on this part, you don't have to wall climb very high. As long as you hit Q early and then delay your jump after the Q and coil, you should have enough height to make it up there. So altogether, it looks something like this. The only other thing I'm going to warn you about is sometimes you can get a beamer by hitting Q just as you hit this yellow ledge. Obviously you don't want to do that because this is glitchless. I try to hit Q really early in the wall climb in order to avoid that. And as long as, again, you delay the jump after the Q, you'll definitely get enough height to land on this part and speed vault the railing. So, Chapter 6, Checkpoint A. See this pole, you need to grab that pole. The reason you need to grab that pole is because this door over here isn't loaded. And that's kind of where you need to go. Grabbing the pole ensures that you'll hit the checkpoint that allows you to continue the level. So the fastest way to get up to that pole is to go on this little ledge here, to the right of this part, and stand right here. Then you're going to do a delayed W wall climb, jump, and then hit W late, so that way you can get a little bit higher of a wall climb. You're going to do a side jump out of that wall climb. During that side jump, you're going to hold D, or right, and that way you'll land on this door frame. From the door frame, you're going to whip your camera back in and do another wall climb sidestep, and that will make you grab the pole. Altogether, it'll look something like this. Once you're on the pole, if you just fall off the pole, sometimes you won't hit the checkpoint. So what I do to ensure I hit the checkpoint is I wall boost off the wall after jumping off the pole. And if we look at the checkpoint, we will see it is loaded. Sometimes Faith will have a problem where she wall runs, and that'll stop you from landing on the door frame properly. This happens because you're not jammed into the corner enough. If you jam yourself into the corner well enough, you will be fine. And again, just make sure you do the wall boost from the pole. Don't drop from the pole like I used to do in my old glitchless runs. If you really can't make that consistent, just go like a casual way, like this. Grab the pole, drop off, and then go up like you normally would. So this trick can be pretty cool, and it's not too difficult, I don't think. Basically slide down onto this vent, and then with just a little bit of forward momentum, you're going to jump off. At the very end, right before you think you're about to go into like this animation right here, that animation means you're going to get an instant death once you hit the ground. Just before you start that animation, just do a kick that will delay the start of the animation, which will allow you to grab this pole and survive the fall. If you can't get that to work, the casual strats look something like this. Those aren't really casual strats, but they're a little bit safer. So this wall on the inside of the boat is kind of weird. If you wall climb on the left side, you'll get a ledge grab like that, but if you wall climb on the right side, you won't at all. Now we can use this to our advantage. In order to get the death abuse in this area, you just need to bonk your head somewhere on the left side, like right about here-ish, right on the ceiling. So what I do is at full speed, I do a wall climb side jump, I land up here, and then from here, I just bonk my head. I go down here, I let the guards kill me, and then voila, I spawn up there. Easy. Ah, the big jump. The bane of everyone's existence. This is probably the flashiest looking simple jump in Mirror's Edge. I don't think it's gonna work. It did. Okay, it's really hard. Not like hard technically, just like it actually just requires good timing. Basically, what you're doing is I just hug the left side of this wall, make sure you don't bonk yourself in that corner, aim for the corner, jump, coil, hold W, keep your camera steady. Don't try to like salvage your angle or strafe in midair, you'll just lose speed and it'll hurt you more than it helps you. Just hold only W, make sure you're aiming for the corner, jump and coil, and then hope to God that you don't kind of like barely miss it like I just did. If you really want to be flashy, you can do a wall boost off this wall. Into that. Also, if you hug the wall too much on your left, you'll hit this stupid thing, so just be careful of that. If you can't get the big jump consistent, no worries. The next fastest thing you can do looks something like this. Basically, you just run this way, and at the very edge, jump. And you'll land on this. So this pole wall boost is really hard, and I don't recommend going for it unless you're going for a really top level time. Basically, you just kind of want to be like somewhere between here and here, lined up with the pole. You turn, you side your boost. You really look into the pole. You have to jump like kind of parallel to it, so that way you can really turn your camera in and get that hard wall boost. You really just have to understand how wall boosts work. That requires a lot of time on the game. So like, and you have to get a good side jump boost too, which is hard because there's a lot of stupid collision around here. So yeah, just practice that a lot. The next fastest thing you can do, I'm going to show this for the people who don't want to do pole wall boost, is like, jump down here. There's a big checkpoint down here that you can death abuse down to. Run over this way. Past these guards. Just jump straight onto the pole. You can't wall climb sidestep onto it. Don't try to, you can try jumping to this ledge, but sometimes it just like makes you fall like that, so I don't even go for that. Like, I jumped, but she just fell instead. I don't know why. It's dumb. Anyway, you go this way, and you go up here, and you go up here. And you're where the pole wall boost would have taken you. So it's slower to go up and around, but so much safer. So if you go for that, no shame. The pole wall boost is only for people who like have a lot of time on the game and are going for a really good glitchless time. So this trick is kind of cool. It used to be like an any percent trick, but it's now exclusive to glitchless. Jump on this wall, jump here. You're going to want to grab this pole, jump, then turn your camera immediately right, and for some reason you'll gain a ton of height. No one knows why that works, but like the upper momentum from that pole for some reason carries into your wall run, and you can get up here straight away. So that way you won't have to like wall climb up this thing, jump on this pole, land down here, and then jump up here. You can just go straight from this pole to this vent, and then get a nice side jump wall boost, and continue doing the level normally. Okay, so I think everything else in Glitchless is either self-explanatory or just not worth explaining because it just requires practice, and me telling you to practice isn't really a good tutorial, is it? So if you have any questions, please leave it down in the comments and I'll do my best to answer it. If you're super serious about getting a question answered, you can upload an unlisted video and then link it in your comment, and I can give you direct feedback on what you're doing wrong. Other than that, I think that about covers it. Thanks for watching.